The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to PSVG, the flagship show of the Play Some Video Games podcast network and a proud member of the Make Us Better community. We are live once again over at twitch.tv/PSVG. So if you're not watching live, you need to question about what you're doing with your life and start doing that on Friday nights and join us. But if you're listening on the audio podcast, we love it as well. It is I, your host, Kevin, and with me this week is the returning boss man, Donnie. How you holding up, man?
Greetings, Koobalings. I'm here. That's about as much as I can say for now. But I'm here.
The cough sums it up nicely. And also with us, we are graced by His Excellency, the Lord of the Empire, Nathan.
Good evening, my fellow friends of the internet. I mean, hey guys, what's up?
Oh, see, I think you're coming down with a little something too, like Donnie. Weird.
I was gonna do something about Spider-Man when he tossed it my way. I was like, you know what? Actually, no. Here we go. We'll do Palpatine as Uncle Ben, playing the part of Uncle Ben. Peter, with great power, becomes great responsibility with the dark side. Here we go.
No. When Uncle Ben Palpatine dies. Oh, guys.
Uncle Ben Palpatine.
Uncle Ben Palpatine. That's a new character for you. There you go. Start working on that one. So, but before we get started, we do have to take a quick second and thank all of our amazing patrons, as Sean Capri calls them, over at patreon.com/makeusbetter. We have our distinguished platinum executive producers, Mr. Corey Hicks, over at twitch.tv/chicks_18. It's not a bad thing, guys. It's okay to go there and visit. Mr. Mark Moody's new podcast, Out of Lives, is over there on youtube.com/outoflives. Our gold executive producers, big thanks to Mike BC and Panache Malloy. And then our executive producers, Brendan Myers, Tony Hutchinson, Donnie Reece, Stephen Iafrate, Joey Splats, Caro, Underwood, Dante, Bellini Jr., Jared Gauthier, Dude427, Kevin Austin, hey, that's me, Josh Borbone, Tammi Ryan, Robert Miller, Tim Aulph, Martini, Gene, and David Ray. Thank you all so much, and all of our listeners for that matter. And if you want to help us reach our new goal, there's a new tier. $400, we can achieve the next level up PSVG, if you will, and we will do what some people have asked for, and that's split the PSVG podcast network feed so you can subscribe to the shows that you want to, and to help us promote individual shows to a bigger, wider audience. That's right, everybody. Nintendo Shack on its own feed, Board of Video Games on its own feed, PSVG OT with its own feed, and of course, PSVG with its own feed, all while keeping the master feed alive and well for our most hardcore, dedicated fans who managed somehow to find enough time to let us slip into their lives on an almost daily basis. Anyway, if you are so inclined to head on over to patreon.com/makeusbetter to learn more, and anything you can do to help support this pirate ship is much appreciated by us all. So, with that in mind, gentlemen, let's get down to business, shall we? Let's start. I'm going to take a quick time out here. I'm going to steal something because I noticed on the new, air quotes, new, If We Ran Nintendo, Mr. Bobby Paul's a Nintendo guru. I'm calling him out here. He blocks Sean Capri from doing What You Playing presented by Fluxtaposed. So I'm just going to go ahead and steal that. And from now on, we will have What You've Been Playing brought to you by Fluxtaposed. So, Donnie, what have you been playing?
Ooh. Sad, I feel unprepared for the question we ask every time we come on the show.
Yes,
just gotta take a minute to think about it. Playing Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Played that today for about 4 hours, and I'm really digging it. It's really pretty, like super pretty, like uber pretty. Like might be one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Pretty, in all seriousness. The lighting on that thing on X in 4K is incredible. And some of the jungle scenes are breathtaking. Even my wife, who doesn't play video games walked by the TV earlier and was like, "Wow, what is this game?" Because it looks like that. I mean, it's really good visually. And then just the gameplay. It's just Tomb Raider. It's more Tomb Raiding. You raid some tombs, and the story I felt, especially early on, just kind of forced it a bit. Which I was just like, you could have let me ease into it a bit instead of just hitting it off right here from the start. But we'll see how it ends. But I'm definitely enjoying it, shooting all the animals, finding all the caverns and taking out all the bad guys. Very Uncharted-y stuff. And playing Hyrule Warriors. Went back to that after.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, started because I kind of put that down when I got back on my Xeno kick and everything. So I went back to that and started playing that. And what else did I do? Oh, I did Halo 3. Finally put that to bed. So I got to the end of that campaign over there in the Master Chief Collection. And the Forza demo, which is amazing. Nathan, have you played that Forza demo more than once?
Not more than once, but I played it for a very long time.
So did I. Here's the thing that I found out, though, today when I tried to play it again. Every time you play it, it starts over.
Ooh.
It didn't save any of my progress. I started it 3 times because one time it crashed on me. Although I'm not sure if it's the game or Twitch. I think it's Twitch. One time I was streaming and the whole thing just crashed. So when I booted it back up again, I had to start all over, which was fine. I wasn't that far in. I was maybe 25 minutes. The second time I played for 2.5 hours. I had already unlocked all of the exhibition races and everything. And then I tried to play it this morning. Totally had to start all over again. I let my son play. He had to start all over again. So, I don't think the demo is saving your progress. I think is.
Well, I mean, it's a demo.
Yeah,
you don't really expect to really.
I'm honestly wondering, now I'm kind of interested to know how long could you play it? Because Kevin, I played the game for 2.5 hours. This is the world's grandest demo ever. You could just keep playing. I probably raced, I don't know, 8-10 races. I got 5-6 signs and 5 or 6 speed traps. I opened a large area of the map. I think I almost had the entire autumn festival unlocked when I called it quits yesterday because I thought I'd just wake up this morning and finish it off. When I went to bed last night, I was like, oh, I'll just they'll only let us play through autumn. That'll be the demo, and I'll finish this off tomorrow. Got to be one of the best demos I've ever played. To be quite honest with you, as a demo, if you want to rate a demo, best demo ever. It's just a lot of game for a demo, and I'm glad I got my hands on it. It is Forza. It's as beautiful as you ever wished it was. Ran a little choppy for me, the demo.
So mine didn't run choppy at all, but so you streamed it with Twitch. I streamed mine out to Mixer, but I didn't have any issues on my X.
Okay.
At all.
Maybe it's the Twitch.
So, is it a built-in app for it, or are you using an intermediary computer?
Built-in app, which I hate.
So there could be some issues there because Mixer is built into the OS and the app is a tack-on. So
yeah, it was a little choppy, especially in cutscenes. It would just kind of skip a frame here or there, and you'd see it. Just a little stagger, and it'd catch back up. And the load time was really long. Load time, a good 2-3 minutes to get into the game. But once I got in the game,
yikes,
ran fine. Yep. Once I got into the game, I was great.
Are you storing it on an external or an internal drive?
External drive. I was thinking about that too.
Okay.
I was storing it on an external 4 terabyte drive, and I was wondering if that read-write speed was maybe something to think about.
Typically, the external drives can have a faster throughput, but I'm not sure depending on the model that you get.
I know the one I got is really good. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's really good. I paid $120 for it. It's a good one.
Yeah. It's a great demo. I love that demo.
It is a great demo, and I'm excited to have Forza back. I'm excited to be playing all these games. The summer was cool. I got to play a little Dead Cells, get to mess around with some indie games, play a little Hollow Knight, but I'm ready for my AAA big, franchise. 'Tis the season, boys. 'Tis the season, and I'm excited. I want to, excuse me. Oh, if I don't lose a lung. I'm excited to play these games. So the Tomb rating is just a blast, and that's what I'm looking forward to most. And I hope to just kind of keep going along with that. I've read that it's anywhere between 10 and 15 hours, campaign. So I might even put that thing to bed this weekend and move on to bigger and better things. But yeah, Kevin, it's over there on that Xbox of yours, buddy. Unlocked.
Yeah, I got to beat the last one first. I know it's.
Don't beat the last one first. Play this one. This one, I feel like this one's already better.
Well, I've heard that there's some story tie-in. That I was reading an article and I saw it, so then I stopped. So I was like, well, I probably need to play the other one.
We can't spoil anything, but there's a big event that happens early on in the game that's pretty, impressive. Like it made me was like, man, I want a whole game like built around this, not a tomb raiding game.
Okay, maybe I'll just jump into
cool.
this.
And then there's a flashback scene that just totally took my heart. By the way, Lara Croft, dude, talk about the world's grandest like playground. Did you get through that part, Nathan?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, she's got the best jungle gym the world has ever seen.
Is there a flashback scene to her mansion?
Yeah.
To Croft Manor? Okay, cool.
Yeah. And her jungle gym, like her playground, is ridiculous. So I was like totally jealous. I was like, yeah, this kid from Cleveland totally relates.
Like, I want to play.
Her playground's like better than my actual house. Not the house I grew up in, but like my actual house now. Spoiled kid. But yeah, that's kind of it. I've been messing with, I've been doing Madden, NBA Live, and messing with stuff like that. The Dragon Ball Z Fighters beta on Switch I did. I never really talked about that. It's really good, by the way. Runs great. So just messing around stuff, hitting these big releases, Kev.
All right. I'll do a couple quick hits before I get into the meaty stuff that I know there's one specifically both Nathan and I want to talk about, I'm sure. First off, Caro can stop complaining. I pre-ordered Undertale, so I will play that when it comes out. So yada, yada, yada. Nintendo Direct, really quick. Some people wanted me, and I know I couldn't make Nintendo Shack last night to talk about it. So Luigi, Yoshi, Animal Crossing, yay. But freaking Katamari Damacy, yes. I've been saying this. I've been waiting for this game.
You just roll a ball around like it's like ball in a cup.
Yeah, Caroline did a really terrible job of explaining this game to you. So so Jason has also played it too, and Jason's a fan of it as well. Okay. And I'm pretty sure Lucas has even played it. What it is the king of all cosmos. He's basically God in this universe. He accidentally destroys the stars. And he sends you, the prince, to Earth to rebuild these stars by using your Katamari, which is the ball, and rolling the ball and picking up items to create the stars again, remake the constellation, stuff like that. She makes it seem like all you do is just roll the ball and that's it, but no, there's objectives. Like sometimes you have to collect just, a specific type of item, and you have to avoid other ones.
Is it one of the games that's like it's hard to control and that's the fun?
No, this isn't hard to control. This is much. If you ever played like that Nobi Boy, that one, it's made by the same people, but that game didn't really make any sense. It was kind of hard to control. Katamari's like, it's exactly what you expected. You push forward in the joysticks, he rolls the ball forward. You pull back, he rolls backwards. Like, it's very easy and a lot of fun. I am interested to see though what the price is going to be because.
Oh, I thought they already. Yeah, they priced it. It's out. You can pre-order it.
Okay, I didn't see what the price was.
I forget what it is. I want to say it's $50, but I'm not sure.
Which is insane because the original game came out on PS2 for $20. That was the original retail price of this game. So if they ask anything more than like $30, it's kind of insane, to be honest. But I know it's a remaster, but still, I mean, like the reason I got the game in the first place is like, whoa, this cover looks really weird. The back looked really weird, and it's $20. I'll pull the trigger and buy it, and I did. But
in your defense, every podcaster that I've ever heard play this game loves it. It's 30.
Yeah, 30. Okay, I'm fine with that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. It's a great game, and it was a sleeper hit back then. It was just a game that came out of nowhere.
This is the same game I told you about last week, right? The PS4, because I was trying to think about it last night. I was like, they announced Katamari Damacy for PlayStation 4 last week, like before TGS.
Did they? I didn't see that.
Remember I messaged you? It doesn't matter. Bad podcast.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. So excited for those. I did go back to Hollow Knight, giving it a second go ahead as everybody keeps pressuring me to do it. Okay, I will say this: it is getting better. Ugh. I still disdain the lack of, and I'm. You guys keep saying there's a story here. I'm getting absolutely no story other than I'm saving these caterpillars. That's all I understand what's going on.
Well, it's not story like in the cutscene. Let's tell you what's going on. It's more like environmental storytelling. There's a lake, and you're like walking around a harrow nest. You're trying to free all these folks from all their different like little ailments and stuff. But I get what you're saying. I've looked it up, so I have the. Yeah, I have the luxury of having other people tell me what they pulled out of it.
Right, and that's the thing is like the game doesn't do a good job of projecting this story at all, or any sort of direction really for that matter. It's like you just show up at this town, you jump down a well, go ahead, figure out the rest. Like they don't tell you rescue these things, collect these. It doesn't do any of it. But anyway, I'm having fun. It's got its hooks in me a little bit better now. It's much like SteamWorld Dig 2 did for me, where I really didn't get it at first, but then eventually I'm like, okay, now I'm getting the grind here. I understand what I'm supposed to be doing, and I went with it. So I'm enjoying it. So I'm still playing that.
Do you get past the Soul Master? Like, have you gotten further than me?
I don't know who the Soul Master is because they don't give you names of anything. I've beaten a couple bosses.
He floats, and he's got the things that float around him. And
I have not seen him then yet, no. Right. But I've beaten two other bosses. Just I haven't seen that guy.
Okay.
So playing that, I did a review game, which I posted up up on the site earlier today. It's a stealth game, stealth release rather. Haunted Dungeons Hioki Castle. Now, this is one from, I think we initially got the lead on this one from our buddies at Exceed Games. They sent it over. And this game's hard to explain. It's basically an old school dungeon crawler. So if you think back to the days of like Wolfenstein, Doom, the original Doom, and like how it moves in kind of those chunky, like I'm going to go forward 1 block, I'm going to go left 1 block. Your movement is like that in this game. But your job is your 4 legendary warriors that are heading to this castle to defeat yokai, and not as in the yokai from the cutesy little Nintendo stuff. These are actual Japanese demons. And you're ridding this castle of all these demons that have flooded Japan. And you go floor by floor of this maze, finding your way from point A to point B, avoiding traps, getting treasures, and moving up to the next level.
That's very similar to the silver case. Just to throw that
is it really?
Yeah,
okay.
The silver case has the exact same movement, where like you move forward and you like it, everything's like on a grid, and you can like kind of turn, and you level up and you go. Yeah, it's
okay.
similar.
So it's pretty similar there. So I will say, all right. So for a modern day game, if you're looking for something like, hey, I think I'm gonna pull a trigger and have this experience like I would, let's say, like a Hollow Knight or a Spider-Man or something like that. This is not that kind of game. This game I would recommend for anybody who is a fan of those types of games, as Donnie described, or dungeon crawlers on PC. Then this is actually pretty much a good fit. I played on PS4. But if you're into those types of games and you have a Switch, I would say this is probably a great portable game to get that feel that you would have on the PC, but playing it in your hands on the go instead would be pretty cool. The artwork is beautiful, meaning the artwork, not necessarily the graphics, but the artwork for the game is done all in the traditional Japanese art styles, which is very cool. I can appreciate what the game's trying to do. It's not a fantastic game, but it's an okay game if you're into this type of game. If you're not, I recommend staying away from it. There's a lot of cool mechanics. You have a party of 4 players. And as you do your attacks, it's kind of weird. You have to, much like Final Fantasy, you do an attack and you have to cool down before your character can attack again. So you have to use your other characters to attack. Well, in Final Fantasy, you just hit the button and then it goes to your next person while the person recharges. In this game, it does not. You actually have to hit the shoulder button to switch to your next character, then attack, switch, attack, switch, attack. So you kind of get to this weird rhythm where it's almost a rhythm game where you're constantly pressing buttons to do your different motions and go through the actions there. So there's like these weird mechanics that the developers put in there between that, and you can split your party into 2 separate parties and attack from both sides of an enemy, but you control them independently. So it seems like the developers here had a bunch of different ideas, and the only issue I have with it is that they had all these great ideas, but they didn't execute any of them perfectly. And that's kind of the issue there too, is they tried to do too much and couldn't really perfect any of it, so it can be a little bit stale, a little bit weird, I think, for some people there. But overall, pretty good game. Head over to the website, psvg.blog, check it out. I did post like the first, half hour, 40 minutes of gameplay if you want to check it out, so there's not really anything spoilery or anything. That's first couple dungeons, but pretty cool. I did get access into the Call of Duty Blackout beta at the beginning of this week as we're recording this on PS4. And I will say, and I think, Nathan, you'll be excited about this too if you can get into this. You will never have a reason to play PUBG ever again.
So I wanted to ask you, because I don't know anything about it because I haven't played Call of Duty in forever.
Sure.
So comparatively to PUBG, I mean, you drop in with nothing, you find stuff and you go and you get attachments and things like that with PUBG. Is it the same concept? Like, how does it work? Or do you have loadouts?
Nope, it's the same thing. You pick up your stuff as you go, drop in just like you do in PUBG. I don't know if this is the cap on the game or this seems to happen on the beta. It's 88 players instead of 100, so it is a little bit less.
How big is the map?
The one that they're playing right now isn't super big. I'd probably say it's probably about half the size of PUBG's map, but I don't think it's the final map from the way they're kind of projecting it.
And is it squads and duos and singles, or how's it work?
In this current beta, you can do solos or you can do squads of 4. So I think the full game will have duos. I think they're pretty sure they said it was going to be duos, singles, and squads. But in the beta, it's only these 2 options. You drop in your wingsuit instead of a parachute. But once you get close to the ground, it turns to a parachute. You drop in, you grab your guns. You're allowed to carry 2 larger. I think it's 2 guns total. I don't think you get the same thing like a pistol and 2 guns like you would in PUBG. You pick up 2 guns. You change it with the triangle button. As you come over attachments, if the attachment is compatible with a gun that you have, pushing the button to pick it up will actually equip it on that weapon right then and there. So no switching to the inventory and having to switch things over. If it's not something for a gun you have currently, you can pick it up and store it same way. You can get backpacks just like you can in PUBG. You have armor. Instead of being individually pieced out, it's one set of armor you wear, and that's it. And there are different levels, 1, 2, and 3, same way as PUBG. There are vehicles in there. The vehicles, I will say, luckily for me, I'm used to it now after playing Halo. They drive like the Warthog. So those same controls of pressing the 2 joysticks forward to go and moving the camera with one and the gas with the other. So there are vehicles there, same like everything pretty much plays the same way, except it's way faster. There is no lag. It looks good. Now it doesn't look your typical Call of Duty good, because those games do look good. It is scaled down slightly, but it still looks, to be honest, probably twice as good as PUBG does. And it's super fast. The load times are great.
All first person.
Yep, all first person. No popping in of textures, things of like that. It all seems to be there when you land and load it. But the cool thing is you do get those power-ups, I guess you call them, that Call of Duty has. You get like special abilities, like a barricade and stuff like that.
I want to turn that off.
Well, the thing is you don't have it in your loadout as your character. You actually pick them up in.
No, I still don't like it. I don't like that concept at all. You know, I don't like playing Smash Bros with the ultimate ball floating around. It's like give me the skill.
Yeah, but yeah,
Chalfie
I mean, it's
wants
not.
to know if you'll walk away from Fortnite.
Oh, so that's what's tough. You can't compare these to Fortnite, just like I don't try and compare Fortnite to PUBG, because they're not the same type of game. PUBG and this are much more similar. I will still keep playing Fortnite, but to be honest, I've gone farther and farther away from Fortnite, playing maybe once or twice a week, and that's it, because I have so many other games to play. It's like finally got like its hooks out of me, but I still go back to it and play it occasionally for fun. But it is super, super good. Not good enough to make me say I'm going to plop down $60 and to play this Blackout mode, because that's probably the only thing I'd play. But it does have my attention. I will say that much for sure.
And here's the other thing: Call of Duty people, like players in Call of Duty, are like another level than me. You know, so
But I've gotten a lot of kills in this, which is funny. I think I've gotten more kills in this beta than I do get in a typical PUBG session.
Huh?
And I don't know if it's just because the quality of players in the beta. You can get through a match in probably 15, 30 minutes, so it's not that super, super long. They do try and move the circle a little bit more than PUBG does. Like, they're not as super like, hey, this first circle is gigantic. It's not that way. It starts you off a little more controlled area. Like, as you're dropping in, they give you the first circle, like where it's going to be. So you may jump off the helicopter, start going one direction, and before you even get anywhere near the ground, they're like, oh, the circle's going to be over here, and you can kind of turn your wingsuit and glide that way in that direction. And the vehicles help too, get across the map pretty quick.
So when you win, is it a grilled pork chop dinner?
I did not win, so I don't
pancakes, know. Actually, I'm trying to be polar opposite of what PUBG is, so it's probably like breakfast, so pancakes.
Chicken and waffles. No, it's waffles.
There you go, waffles.
Waffle breakfast. But no, I did get second place a few times, 4th, 5th, 11th. Then occasionally you get the ones where you get killed like right away. But I do just like the mechanics of it. It plays really good. It feels really good. You imagine with the amount of time PUBG has been actively working on this game, this is what I would have expected PUBG to be, 2-3 years into it. And Call of Duty's really nailed it. But we kind of expected Call of Duty to bring its A game when they decided to do this. But now I feel like it's seriously, the noose has got to be tightening around the guys over at Blue Hole Studios. Like, seriously, it's nowhere near the quality at all. But and then last but certainly not least, the big one, Spider-Man. I'm gonna stay spoilers free. The guys at Board of Video Games talked about it as well. This game is freaking amazing. Dude, the stuff in this is incredible. The Easter eggs for comic fans too are fun. So Donnie, this isn't anything spoilerish, but there's a ton of collectibles that's been talked about a lot. Like similar to you getting like Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs, which I don't get too much into those types of things. This game makes you want to do them though. You go around taking photographs of landmarks, and some are actual landmarks in New York, like Radio City Music Hall, stuff like that. But then there's also, this is the New York in the Marvel universe. So there's the Avengers Tower. There's the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange's, hideout is there.
Rand Enterprises.
Rand Enterprises is there. So like all these different Marvel things are there too. So like kind of gives you those Easter egg things. Love it. But it is so good. The travel is so much fun, just swinging through New York City. Story is great. Voice acting is phenomenal. I mean, you just get a feel for this. It's so much fun. It's such a good game. It's just so much fun. Fun. But Nate, I'll let you talk about it because you've been patiently waiting. So take it away, sir. I'll jump in if there's anything else I want to say as you bring it up.
So I'll start out with Spider-Man since that's where we're at. But I've put in, I'm about 20% or so into the game so far, and that's not story. That's just pretty much me just goofing around,
me too.
Around the city. Because like you, I just once they started introducing backpacks, I'm like, oh, well, these are kind of cool. And then when you pick it up as a comic book fan, like we are, he talks about, oh, this is when Mysterio broke his thing, and I took this as the concept for my glasses and things like that. And I was just like, the Easter eggs, like you said, are just really well done, and you can tell by these little things that you don't really think are important to the game, but they're important to the people that made the game, and that comes through, because even when you're doing these little collection missions, he's doing this little like spider cop thing, right?
Oh
and
god,
it's fantastic. Really, really enjoy it. I mean, they capture the personality of a little bit older Peter Parker really well. They put you in a scenario where you don't typically see Spider-Man in this stage of his life when you start the game out, which, like I said, I'm not that far in, so that'll probably all change here within the next couple minutes. But it's actually really cool to see how it is, who he's working with, who he works for. He's trying to make his rent, and it's the jokes that he has, little quips. It's fun. And I'm playing on my PS4 Pro, and it looks flipping tastic. And I gotta say one thing though about this PS4 Pro. That thing is loud. Like, it's literally like sitting right here next to me, because I'm playing it on my computer, because I broadcast it out when I played on Mixer, mixer.com/SpiderJedi. And when I play it, I have my headphones on, at least, so I don't hear that. But when I have my headphones off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, things are so loud, it's like overpowering.
Yeah.
However, the game is fantastic. I said it in Discord earlier. If you own a PlayStation 4, you should have Spider-Man. This is the best Spider-Man game I've ever played. It's fantastic, and I'm really excited to get more into it, because, like I said, I'm only 20% in, and I'm loving every minute of it. Even though it's using this rinky-dink symmetrical stick PS4 controller, but it's a fun ride so far. I've really enjoyed it. Looking forward to getting more into it. I'd be playing it right now if I wasn't talking to you schmucks. I would
be too. I'm about just as far as you. I think I'm like 25%, but most of it's been all these side quests and side missions and stuff. But yeah, Donnie, you need to pick this up. And I know you kind of teased a little bit in the Discord that you're thinking about it.
He probably ordered it. He probably just got to go pick it up now.
I got it. It's upstairs.
Yes.
It's in the PS4. I'd imagine it's installing. I don't know. I didn't look at it. I just put it in, turned on the PlayStation 4 and put it in. But I had my wife pick it up on her way home because I'm sick. I sit on the couch all weekend anyway. And as I mentioned in our Discord, I got a $25. I hit that. You guys, once you hit $25 on the Best Buy rewards, they auto issue the cert.
Yep. Yeah.
You have to use it. And I had a deadline on it. It was like November 2nd. And I was like, well, I might as well go ahead and get this because I already got my Pokemon stuff. So
you're gonna love it. I'm serious. You're gonna love it. It's great. It's great too, because I will say, and Nathan touched on this a little bit. So there's all these Easter eggs here that you could tell the development team took care of this. They actually care about the product. But the great thing is, so Donnie, somebody like you who are not into the comics, you're not going to feel lost in it though either. Like these little extra things that, like, oh, you're going to read it and be like, oh, that's cool. But for like Nathan and I, were like, oh, that's so cool. But it doesn't detract anything from the game. It's just these little extra things that mean a little bit more to certain people, but don't make you feel left out or lost in the story.
I saw that they have a code in the box for some digital comic book subscription thing.
Yeah.
Is that worth checking out?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get some source material, kind of understanding about Spider-Man, I don't know which issues they are, but Spider-Man comics are always worth checking out. They're good reads.
Okay.
Kind of adding to what Kevin said, there's lines of dialogue and things that, it won't. For us that have the background, it stands out and it's awesome. Like, there's this line that he drops when he's up on top of the Avengers Tower and you jump off. He's like, man, but they're never here. They're probably in the West Coast. It's like, it's the West Coast Avengers he's talking about.
Avengers, yep.
So it's just really, really a good experience so far. But I'm, like I said, looking forward to getting more into it and playing more of it. Continuing on other games I've played, I also have Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And I've been playing that on my X as well. I'm not as far as Donnie. I think Donnie's probably farther than me. I've only played it a couple nights because I've been kind of bouncing back between Tomb Raider and Spider-Man. But man, that game is gorgeous. It is absolutely... It is probably one of the best looking games I've played.
Nathan's speechless.
I mean, he's not lying. It really is.
The use of shadow, the use of all the detail and the characteristics and everything that they have on Lyra, and everything that's in that game is just it. Each iteration of the Tomb Raider since the re-release has built on each other, and this is actually just a really good third installment so far. The plot, like you said, the story, they kind of just I don't know if
throw you into it.
Yeah,
and not like in a good way either. They really here's the drama, and you're like, you could have built to the drama. They just serve it to you. They just give it to you.
Right.
It's like, here's the drama.
Yeah, I think they're kind of thinking, well, this is the third time around. People just want to hop in.
I think so
But
too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really am enjoying that as well. The stories, I gotta get behind a little bit more, but everything else seems to be really great on that. The controls are also really good. Thinking about other stuff I've been playing too, I did play that Forza Horizon 4 demo, as Donnie mentioned, and we talked about that a little bit. I've seen a lot of Luke Lohr and Sean Capri's driving around. It's been a lot of fun trying to catch their things. It's like the Xbox drive. Wow, they're listening to the podcast as it comes out. That'd be great. Like if you could hear other people's music as they go by or whatever they're listening to. Another thing in Spider-Man, by the way, like James Jonah Jameson has a podcast that just comes up.
Yep. Oh, it's like, so good.
It's so good. Anyway, so I also have been playing a little bit, not recently because these other games came out. GTA Online, still getting that. I don't know why. It's there. I finally got that resolution for that issue that I had like months ago where I pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was supposed to get a $2 million GTA Online bonus, and I never got it. And finally got that resolved. Someone had to actually just manually add it to my account because it just wasn't going anywhere.
You should have had him add a 0 to the end of it or something. Like, hey, for my time spent, can you just...
Well, they did actually give me another 100,000. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
But I think I'm at a good stopping point there. Technically, kind of, it never really has a stopping point, but these other games are just drawing my attention now. But also of note, I think it's kind of fun, pretty interesting. I spent last week in Disney World.
Yeah, you did.
A lot of fun out there. Took the boy. He got his first haircut. I also got my first haircut. They have a barbershop there.
Wait, on Main Street, right?
Yeah, they have a barbershop there on Main Street that you can go into and get a haircut. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but it was a neat experience for him. He'll have they have a little certificate. They save the little clippings and stuff. So he got a little hat that said "My First Haircut." He saw a lot of the characters. Like, I've never gone to Disney World for the characters. That's just never been my thing. But it's as you guys both know, and as I'm learning, as you are a father and you're raising somebody, you see the world a lot differently. Things that you take for granted before, things that you didn't pay attention to before, you start to look at and realize, and just how much different the world will be for. It's interesting, right? The way you look at things when you have a young one that you're raising, and Disney World is just a fantastic place. I mean, even though he's only 9 months and he's not going to remember it, my wife and I will. We'll have those pictures. We got that memory maker pass, and we got thousands of pictures.
Oh, perfect. Yep.
Every place we're like, can you take a picture and get our picture taken? We went to Toy Story Land. That was really cool. We rode the Slinky Dog ride that just opened up. You can see the Star Wars Land is opening next year, and they're constructing it right now, right by Toy Story Land. And so you can see like the spires and stuff over there, and it looks really cool. Looking forward to that. We did hit up all the parks. I'm not going to go into all of them, but it was at Epcot. It was the Food and Wine Festival, so they had extra little booths all the way around the world.
Oh, those are great. Yes.
So it was a really good time. Really enjoyed it. I needed a vacation. I've had a lot of stress and pressure, and it's just kind of nice to kind of pull away from everything here a little bit and just kind of get away. Now getting kind of back into the swing of things. I had a what's it? It's not midterm, quarter term for my class I'm taking in college. Today I took the quarter term test, and hopefully that was fine. But anyway, that's me. I've been really busy, really swamped, but I'm kind of at a good stopping point. Oh, one more thing. We got landscaping done around our house, and it's really nice now that our house is actually kind of clean looking around it, because there was overgrown stuff, and I just hated it. Every day I looked at it, and it was just driving me bonkers, and now it's all gone.
Did it look shack-like?
Getting pretty darn close to it.
I gotta look into that. It's something I've never done, is just have somebody else do the landscaping. Like, I hate doing it, and I'm not good at it. Certain things, I should really hire somebody to do it.
See, I don't have time for the things I want to do, let alone the things I don't want to do. So
right. Yeah.
If this was going to get done, we had to, get someone else out here. So it took us a while to get some estimates and get people out, but we finally took the plunge. It's definitely it's still not 100% done yet, but it's definitely a million times better.
Good. All right. Well, gentlemen, we asked for questions, and you all came to the call here big time, so it's time to dive right in and check out the messages.
Message for you, sir.
Okay, we're gonna go through these a little quick because we spent a lot of time talking about what we've been playing, rightly so. So we're gonna hit these up real quick. First one, Carlos at Hard Rock Guy on Twitter asks, chocolate or vanilla? I'm vanilla.
Vanilla.
Oh, Donnie.
Well, it really doesn't. It depends on what it is. Generally, I'm a vanilla guy, but I mean, I love me a good chocolate brownie.
Oh,
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, put
I
a
don't know,
little
for some
vanilla
reason I
ice
went
cream
right
on
to
top of
ice
a
cream.
chocolate brownie.
I just went right to ice cream for some reason.
Is there
whenever
a
I saw
vanilla
it.
brownie? There's no like opposite of the chocolate brownie.
There are blondies.
Yeah,
I don't know if
that
you've
doesn't-
ever had one, but anyway, but yeah, I mean, typically vanilla. Like if you think of flavors on like in coffee or something like that, I prefer a vanilla flavor to a chocolate flavor.
Definitely. I'm with you. Our own Caro at the Nintendo asks, favorite Animal Crossing villager? And she also states, probably only Kevin can answer this one. I feel like Donnie might be able to. Donnie should be able to. So I'm going with Puck, the penguin,
one.
because he's a hockey reference. He wears a little hockey helmet. He has a little jersey on. I like him. He's fun.
Keeping with my favorite Pokemon Cubone, I'll go with Bones. Because he's cool. He's kind of like me. When I'm not running and gunning and the city's burning down, I'm just lazy. I hang out, just laying around.
Yeah, I'm assuming you don't have an answer for this one, right?
My favorite one is Star
Just
Fox.
guess one. Throw
Star
one.
Fox.
You get to just say a name and you might be
Star
correct.
Fox.
Fox McCloud. That's my
Fox
favorite one.
There you go. Perfect. Trash Turkey sent us a twofer. So let's go with the first one first, as you generally would. So at Trash Turkey on Twitter, what are your top 3 games to get on Black Friday? Obviously, the discount. I will say, I'll go first to give you guys some time to think about this. Donnie and I have kind of almost taken care of a majority of our gaming purchases already. So the only one I could even think of, Donnie, is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's literally the only one I can think of. Personally, I'd probably pick up something on Nintendo that I didn't have already. Maybe Fire Emblem Warriors if that goes on sale or something like that, like an older game. But there's nothing coming out this season that I think we already aren't getting, or I won't get, I know, for my birthday, which will take place before Black Friday. So I think that's the only one on my list right now to keep an eye on.
Starlink. I'm going to put that under the Christmas tree, and I will be getting it on Black Friday. That's kind of the date that I have circled to grab that one. Assassin's Creed's a good one. I think I bought everything else. So, yeah. Everything else on Switch that... Oh, no. Valkyria Chronicles. I passed on Valkyria Chronicles to get Xenoblade, and I've got Mega Man, and that'll get me into Mario Party, which will get me to Pokemon. So Valkyria Chronicles is kind of getting the short end of the stick here. I really want to play it, but it's a longer game, and I just feel like with those Sega games, like that's a good one to wait on. I'll probably get that for like $25.
Yeah. So. And honestly, that's probably more the appropriate price point. They're great games, but they're not, I don't know. It's Sega. It's tough. Like I hate to say that, but they don't do AAA games. So it's like,
the demo's really good. Like this one's really good. I'm excited. Yeah.
So Nathan, you're kind of the crafty guy who waits till Black Friday most time to pick up some things. So let's change a little bit recently. Is there anything you currently have your eyes on?
Well, I'm just going to take a look at this from a perspective of what Black Friday tactics I've used in the past and just kind of giving him a general idea of what would be a good get most likely on Black Friday. Ubisoft titles are generally half off on Black Friday. I can't say it. I want to say Black Flag Day.
Black Flag Day.
Friday. So Ubisoft titles are generally pretty discounted. Obviously, anything that's come up before September will be at least half off. But if you want to get a newer game, usually, maybe not even on Black Friday, the week leading up to it or the week after, Target usually has those buy one, get ones or the buy two, get one deals. So the games that don't usually go discounted, like I'm sure Red Dead Redemption is not going to see a discount because Rockstar doesn't discount their games.
No.
So that'd be a good opportunity to use to get that game. If there's a Nintendo game that's hot at that point, I don't know, is Smash Bros. Going to be out then?
No,
at that point?
That's December.
Okay.
No, but you could get like Aces or Mario Party. I expect like those to get discounted. Octopath will probably get like a $40 treatment.
So those would be the games that I would be looking for, and also, it's on that precipice of maybe it'll be a good discount, maybe it'll just be a slight discount. But Spider-Man, if you don't already have it, get it.
Yeah. For sure. So, Trash Turkey's other question, what announced online NES game are you most hyped for? So, with the Switch Online services that we talked a little bit more about yesterday, they detailed the ones that we will get right off the bat and then the next couple months. And then Trash Turkey also asked, name one that they should add that they haven't announced already. So, I will go with one. I will say from the original launch ones that we're getting, the ones I'm probably most excited for would be like River City Ransom, I think, or like Double Dragon. I have a feeling that if Jason and I can link up and find time to play together, that's one we definitely play with. And then down the line, I'm super excited for in October, Super Dodgeball. Devin and I have talked about this game a lot and how much fun that game is. So the fact they're adding the online to that is great. And then you got like Wario's Woods and Mighty Bomb Jack coming as well too. So those will be fun ones, I think, to come up down the line. One I want to see that isn't on there, Nintendo Shack talked about a little bit last night. The glaring one is Super Mario 2. The fact that's not on there. And I will say I've played Super Mario Brothers so many times. I played Super Mario Bros. 3 so many times. I think I've spent the least amount of time with Super Mario Bros. 2, and that's one I would like to go back and revisit. So that's one I want to see added, hopefully sometime soon. Donnie.
I really don't care. Super Mario 3 is just one of the best Mario games ever made. So, I mean, I'll play that one the most, and I'll play Tecmo Bowl probably the most. I mean, yeah. And those might actually be the only ones I actually really play.
Fair enough. Nathan, do you know any original Nintendo Entertainment System games?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one.
But all of the ones I want to play are in that box back there, so I'm set.
Yep. Donnie mentioned that too as well. If you have a mini, you should have it hacked. You should have all the games anyway, so nothing to worry about. Nathan's throwing a curveball question. I think it's going to kind of blow up in his face here. Thoughts on the Apple conference?
Who cares?
I don't even care, other than just grossly overpriced for everything.
Phones.
Bethesda was on the stage and you don't care?
No, they already did their mobile game.
They've already shown the game. I don't need to see it on.
Howard was out there, man.
Old news.
They already announced it.
But that game does look pretty cool. The Todd Howard game. I forget what it's called. Elder Scrolls something.
Swords or something, isn't it?
Whatever. But just a quick couple thoughts because I did pre-order an iPhone today. The new phones look really cool. And I think
they look just like the old phones.
I would say they look like an iPhone.
It's just the phone. It's the same phone.
It's not the same phone because this one has a bigger screen. This is a max size.
XL. The next year
no, it's a max, not XL.
iPhone Magnum.
Oh, speaking of Magnum, RIP. No. Magnum PI.
Oh, okay.
I was with you, Kev.
Okay.
Anyway. Anyway, just I'm done.
Thank you.
Fair enough. So Eric Green asks at the Art of Bacon on Twitter, Nintendo Switch Online is still the redheaded stepchild. I take offense to that, Eric. Still is not blown away by the service by any means. What say you? Listen, there's been a lot of bashing for it. Listen, I get it. Some people are like, why are we paying for it? Blah, blah, blah.
It sucks.
Nintendo said right off the start, though, that it wasn't going to be free forever, and nobody else has it for free. I get it. The cloud save thing, Donnie, I'm going to throw it to you in a little bit to talk about that. Overall, though, people, you're getting, worst case scenario, you're getting these NES games for free that have some online capability you might have fun with, and it's super cheap. If you have anybody else you know with the Switch, just do the family plan, and you're paying like $10 or less a year. Like, get over that hump in the first place. Is it perfect? No. It's Nintendo's first crack at something like this, so I'm not making excuses for them, but I think people are just kind of overblowing how it's not the end of the world. I'm not blown away. I'm not impressed, but it's not the end of the world for me.
It sucks.
Donnie.
It sucks. I mean, you're right. The best thing about it is that it's cheap. It's cheap enough that you don't care. It's like $1.60 a month. It's super cheap. What is like Xbox Live Gold? Is it like a $12 a month? $10 a month? Something like that?
$6 a year.
Yeah, so it's like 10% of that. So, I mean, I get it that it's cheap. It's even cheaper if you have a family plan like we do. So, I'm not worried about it. Like, we're going to get it anyway because we want to play online. I get that.
Yeah.
However, this is the first time that they've ever charged for online access. So, they're catching up to it. And I just feel like, I think it sucks because they missed an opportunity to grab a little good PR. They're launching this program and it's just all bad. None of it's really good. Like the online isn't good. Like they haven't mentioned that online is going to be drastically improved, right? They haven't told us it's better. And the voice chat still sucks. And you get NES games but nothing else. And we don't get anything else for the rest of this year. Like even if they said and SNES games are coming in the spring, that would have been a little something. They didn't even do
carrot
that.
On the stick.
Yeah. And then they said this special promotions. They didn't even list what they were. Like, it just sucks. Like, this is how you don't roll out a new service. You don't do it like this. And here's the other thing. This is after they sent an email to everybody, like, warning them from switching their NIDs. Yeah. Like, they were like, don't do that. You'll mess it up. Oh, by the way, but we're not going to tell you why. It's just dumb. Yeah. It's just dumb.
Yeah. That's fair enough. And then we have this whole controversy with the online cloud saves, which they talked about. I don't want to say a lot, but they put a lot of time into that. But then they didn't mention the fact that, hey, some of the biggest games aren't even going to have that, like Splatoon and Pokemon, which was kind of weird. But honestly, in the grand scheme of things, at least for me, I don't care. Like there's most of these games, if I were to lose something, would it suck? Sure. But I would just go back and play it again. But games like, let's say, like Breath of the Wild, it might be a good thing if I lost my save file. I might be more tempted to go back and play it again. But right now, I'm like, well, I beat it. I don't want to do it. So I get it, but it's not like you have something that's never achievable or never able to do it again by losing a cloud save in my mind. But I get it. I get why people are bummed about it. But for me, it's a non-issue. It doesn't affect me.
So with cloud saves specifically, a lot of people started, after they updated their website, people started data mining the store. NBA, FIFA, Dead Cells, Dark Souls, Splatoon 2, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee will not support cloud saves. And Nintendo spoke as to why, and they said, there are items, there's progress, there's rankings, things that aren't stored online, and if we let you do cloud saves, then you could manipulate the data, right? You could trade 100 Pokemon and then revert back to a save. Here's my thing. I'm with you. I've never used cloud saves. This is the thing that I've been talking about for, 2 years now? I've never used cloud saves on PlayStation, on Xbox. I don't care. So this is really...
You have to. You lied.
I'm sorry?
You used it on Xbox.
When?
When you went and played back and forth. You were on Windows 10 PC playing, was it Forza at one point? And you went back and forth a little bit?
I played Forza on my laptop in Denver. So maybe you're right. I used it one time.
So you used it once?
I used it once. So, I mean, this isn't really a thing for me. But that said, it's something they're charging for. And I'm kind of in the boat, I'd rather be easily manipulated to con than not at all. Who cares? Because I understand it. If somebody's I played 600 hours of Splatoon and I don't want to and somebody stole my Switch and I want to buy another one, or they release a new special edition and I want to pull it down or I want to add I understand there's a utility there that you're just not getting, and it's then why am I paying you? My whole thing about this is the justification for the payment. It really just doesn't seem like there is one. They're just making you give them some money. They're like, hey, all Switch owners, give us $10. There's really nothing. We're just spotting them. We're just spotting Nintendo for a little bit.
Yeah, I know you're good for it later, Nintendo.
Yeah, I know you're good for it. I know we'll get N64 games. Just go ahead and take my money now. It's ridiculous.
So, Nathan, any thoughts before we transition to some non-Nintendo stuff for you?
So, I mean, the whole cloud saves things is interesting because a lot of stuff is saved on third-party servers anymore, like Destiny and stuff like that, and GTA. It's all saved on their servers, not
Fortnite.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that some of those aren't already being transferred in some way or another. But like you said, I mean, because they just recently announced, the new Switch bundles that have some special stuff for Smash Brothers and Pikachu and not Pikachu, Pokemon. If you want to go to one of those and you don't have cloud saves, how can you do that? Can you use an external memory card to get there, or do you?
Memory card.
With Pokemon, there's an interesting thing. I'm pretty sure the reason Pokemon doesn't support cloud saves is because they're going to make you pay for Pokemon Bank.
Yeah,
that's a separate thing that Pokemon has.
You can store your Pokemon on this online server and pull them into any game.
It's $5 a year, Pokemon but yeah, you can use them literally over any game. So I can grab Pokemon from Pokemon Yellow and bring them all the way forward to Pokemon Let's Go.
Okay. But yeah, but also with cloud saves, you have also used them another time, Donnie, when you got your Xbox One X. You used cloud saves to start playing games there too.
No, I didn't. I transferred everything from the hard drive. I backed it up and just plugged it in. It was fantastic.
But your saves aren't stored on your local machine. They're stored in the cloud.
Are they? All of them?
Yeah, everyone.
Okay, sure.
It's seamless. You don't even realize it.
I'm not going to argue with you, Nathan. I know. I backed up the hard drive. I plugged my hard drive in, and it was just like my same old Xbox. So
yeah, but if you look at your content, the only stuff that's on the drive is DLC assets and game assets. I'm
going to look mine up because I'm going to challenge you in this because I don't think I've ever allowed them to do that.
The only thing that's on there is the assets, not the actual saves.
We'll see.
That is different for older saves though, from like the what's it called,
360?
Xbox originals. Yeah.
Back and pat.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
All right.
I'm ready to move on.
Okay, fair enough. Next one comes from Chowfie at that Chowfie. Fall shows are kicking in, so what are you looking forward to watching or have started watching already? Okay, Nathan wants to go first. He's ready on the trigger here.
So does this? I don't know if this counts as a fall show per se, but it just did come out, and I actually like the first couple episodes that I've seen so far, and I didn't.
Dancing with the Stars.
It is Dancing with the Stars. No, it is Iron Fist season 2.
Ah, yep.
I started watching the first couple episodes. I did not like the first Iron Fist season at all. I didn't care for Danny character, and this is just completely better. They learned from their mistakes, and the character of Danny so far is a lot better. The interaction with all the different characters is better. I like it a lot better. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm actually invested this time where I wasn't in the past.
That's fair. I've been taking the opportunity to catch up on the shows from last year. So, like, I cut cable a while back, like over a year ago now at this point. And I was keeping up with everything via the different streaming solutions. I was still watching shows they're currently on, but then it got to a point that I just couldn't. So I fell off a lot of shows, but I did now just finish up this week alone, The Flash from last season. Not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. yet. Legends of Tomorrow, finished that season up. Finished Supergirl up. Hey, I like all the shows.
Yeah, all these things are terrible now.
No,
like, they used to be good, but now they're just the same thing every week. Oh, Barry, he's not fast enough. Oh, I'll be faster. And I'm faster at the end of the show. It's just the same thing. I'm done with it. I don't know.
I still have fun with it. But the Marvel stuff is up next for me because I am very far behind. I still need to watch Jessica Jones 2. I need to watch Luke Cage 2. I need to watch Iron Fist 2. So those are coming up. But those I watch on my own. My wife does not watch any of those, where the other shows she does. So they're a little bit harder for me to get to. But that's what I'm looking forward to for this season. Donnie?
I grabbed Sling so I could watch The Purge, which we've been enjoying, and Lily Simmons is in that, and it's fantastic. And then we're watching Insecure on HBO and the new Ballers.
Oh, yeah, Ballers. I was going to say that's back now.
Yep.
That's a fantastic show.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great show.
Enjoy.
And honorable mention, NFL's back.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's given. So next one comes from Kyle at Psycho Cross, best 90s band.
Ooh.
Now, I'm an old man, so the 90s was my music.
Your favorite or the best?
I'm going with my favorite because best is purely subjective.
Mm.
So for me, and 90s is weird because there were a lot of like one hit or two hit people that just disappeared and still are no longer in existence today. Sure. So I picked ones that I can go back and still listen to their music and it still holds up. For me, Green Day, The Offspring,
Yep.
And then this last one, they've kind of fallen off the face of the earth, but their music holds up so well, and they're very, very talented. Garbage for me. Yep. Yeah, because they got that funk behind the music there too. She's got a wonderful voice, Shirley Manson. So big fans of those ones. So those are my favorite bands in the 90s, and that's kind of how I'm going with it. But then the most legendary came at the very, very end for me, and that's Linkin Park. Hybrid Theory is still one of the best albums of all time, period.
Was that 90s?
That came out in 1999.
Hybrid Theory was 99?
Yeah, I was thinking like the aughts. I was thinking like 2001, but sure.
Nope. Yeah.
I still wouldn't count them as a 90s band, but I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Just that album alone, though, for me.
Maybe my friends, at least in the rock genre, have had this argument because, like, if you're saying the best and you have like commercial success, then like Green Day, but even like Nickelback comes into play. You know, like
right.
Yeah. So the Red Hot Chili Peppers, commercial, amazing success, one of my favorites. Lasted throughout the entire decade, kind of reinvented themselves 3 different times during the decade. The Dave Navarro stuff and all that. So, yeah, they're probably my favorite.
All right. Nathan?
So I got a couple answers here, both of them non-dimensional. First is going to be Weird Al because that was me growing up. I mean, Linkin Park was the most mainstream that I listened to back then, but Weird Al was just, I always liked listening to him because I enjoy the funny music.
So
but then, truly, honestly, the 90s for me there's a lot of great, fantastic movie film scores. So I'm going to say the London Symphony Orchestra was my number one.
There you go. I count it. 2 more questions. The other half of the Backlord Buster is Grrouchie Serge. Worst game you've played this year? So I'm not going with the game that came out this year because honestly, I don't think I've really played anything that horrible that's come out this year. But a game I have played for the first time this year, and I have deemed it the worst, and I'm going to get eye rolls from Nathan, Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, no. That's ridiculous.
Donnie likes it better than me.
Ridiculous.
I
Okay.
didn't like Sunset that much.
Trash.
Not even close. Trash.
To borrow the words of
You call it
Nintendo Guru.
trash?
To borrow the words from Nintendo Guru, hot trash in the summer.
Quit borrowing words from him anyway. Like, just
That's
first
fair
and
enough.
foremost, there's a lot more games, way more games that are garbage besides that.
That I've played this year, that is the worst one.
All right.
Anybody else?
There's a game that I played. I can't remember the name of it because it was so bad. But
You blocked it
but-
from your memory.
with Game Pass, you get access to a lot of games that you just typically wouldn't pay. So you just try it and do it. But there was a recent one that someone said it was like FTL, and I really enjoyed FTL on my PC. And so you're in this bomber. I don't remember what it's called. It's a bomber or something. And you're this crew of people on the bomber, and you got to go back and forth and do stuff. And I got about 3. What is it called?
No.
No. But I got about like 5-6 minutes into the game, and the controls don't make any sense. It's just I'm frustrated, and I just literally uninstalled it right away. That was the worst game I played this year.
Bad Bit makes a really good point. Sea of Thieves is worse than Sunset Overdrive. I played a game called 1979 Revolution
Oh, you were looking so forward to
on
that game.
Nintendo Switch, and I reviewed it, or I didn't review it, but I looked up reviews for it when it was announced because it surprisingly has amazing reviews, like Metacritic score in the 90s maybe. Like IGN gave it like a 9.5 or something. Like I remember looking it up, has really good reviews, positive everywhere. That game is like a PlayStation 2 game on Switch, and it's supposed to be like this telltale adventure. And I kind of would appreciate it because the story that it's telling of like this, you know, these people, this uprising, and it's supposed to be like all like maybe true or at least, you know, somewhat true. And like that's all nice and compelling if the game actually like executed any of it very well. It's like a telltale narrative, but the narrative is very linear. Like you can't go your own path. You have to like pick the choices it sets for you or you die. And so you just kind of like watch it play while it plays. You like you snap like a camera around, and like the voiceover was terrible. You know, like you bump into somebody and they're like, "Hey buddy, what are you doing out here?" It's just like very forced and like on the nose. It's just like I played that game for about
Sure was cold out here.
Yeah, I played that game for about an hour. I was like, this is terrible, and I turned it off. So yeah, that was one that I wish I had refunds for because I would have asked for.
That's nice.
That's the game that was terrible. It's called Bomber Crew.
Oh, so Bomber wasn't the name.
Yeah.
Okay. So our last question to wrap it up comes from Ashley. Now that we know Animal Crossing is coming to the Switch, what are we hoping to see from the next installment of Animal Crossing? Nathan's answer is Fox McCloud.
Yeah, go
Nathan.
Nathan.
See Fox McCloud. That's a good one.
What's with all the Animal Crossing questions?
I don't think
Dude,
people
are
ask, dude.
excited, man.
I love Animal Crossing. So for me, I'm actually super easy here. Do I want to see new stuff? Sure. But literally, if you just bring me all the same features we had in New Leaf, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Just give me some new furniture, new villagers, stuff like that. I'm fine. I don't need anything additional. I will say, though, I don't really feel the need to be the mayor. I don't want that to do the projects and stuff like that. I'd rather just work on the town and donate and have them do the upgrades themselves or whatever the case is. But other than that, I just want Animal Crossing. I don't care what it is. As long as it's not Happy Home Designer, I'm good.
No, you got to be the mayor. Animal Crossing for Nintendo Switch. It's going to have HD. I'd like the map to be a lot bigger. I'd like to be able to switch between environments without so many load times. I'd like to be able to like swap my inventory and stuff without like all of the like the redundancy of like pull it out, put it back in, grab the other thing, pull it out. You know, like if I could speed all that up and just make it a little easier, I could do something like that. That type of stuff. Yeah, just quality of life, just more Animal Crossing, bigger, prettier, you know, quality of life stuff.
Agreed. And just give it to me, hopefully, before holiday 2019. I'd like it.
Yeah.
I want a summer game. I want it to be in the summer.
It's probably going to be in the fall.
Yeah. What else like that? So that wraps up the mailbag. Thank you, everyone, so much for your abundancy of questions here. You can always tweet us at PSVG with your questions. We'll bring them up on the next show. Or better yet, join our Discord over on the Make Us Better on psvg.blog. Click on the link and join us. So we're running long, but we cannot leave without diving into the news of the week.
This week in Play Some Video Game News.
First one, and I haven't seen a ton of people report this. Bethesda confirms they're working on Wolfenstein 3.
Yeah.
So they took a break to do Youngblood, which is coming out. There we know, following BJ's kids, but they said absolutely, it's in the works already.
And in further development, Sony's working on The Last of Us, and Nintendo's working on Mario games. Bethesda's working on Wolfenstein. Of course they are. Guess what, guys? Ubisoft's working on Watch Dogs. It's going to happen.
Confirmed?
Confirmed. Shocking news.
Half-Life 3.
Shocking news.
I'm just saying it's surprising they even said it. Like, you figure if somebody asked them to be like, no comment, or talk about the stuff that we already know is coming, as opposed to something that hasn't been announced yet, really. So yeah. I just thought it was interesting. But apparently nobody else does. That's okay. This one I was a fan of. So trailing off the Witcher announcement for Netflix, Alan Wake is the next one getting a TV show treatment.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And from the writers that did behind Cloak and Dagger and Legion, which are both really good shows as it is, Peter Calloway, the writer there, will helm the adaptation of the Xbox 360 Alan Wake series. So I'm really excited to see that. Your thoughts, guys, on that one?
Yeah. Awesome. I'm on board. Can't wait.
Is this a Netflix show?
Don't think they've said where it's going to be yet. They just said it's being a TV show.
I hope it's Netflix. That would make the most sense to me to be able to put it out there for that kind of content. But Alan Wake was a really good storytelling kind of genre. Really kind of one of those. It could be a cerebral type show, so I could see it kind of be in the vein of like True Detective type stuff on HBO, kind of that kind of realm. So that'd be really neat to see if they pull it off well.
Yeah, it doesn't say, but I imagine it's most likely got to be a streaming, whether it's Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime. It's got to be on one of those, so that's coming there too. Ubisoft really wants us to play Assassin's Creed for a long time. They announced that the season pass for Assassin's Creed Odyssey will include, among other things, a remastered version of Assassin's Creed 3.
Why 3, do you think? Is it because the other ones are already remastered in that little collection?
I think so.
The next one.
I think so. It seems to make sense that would be
Black
the
Flag isn't in that collection.
Well, Black Flag came out on those consoles, though.
It was a dual platform release.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it doesn't need to be remastered. There's going to be an Atlantis DLC, continuing along with the fantasy vibe that Odyssey is going for, a remaster of Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. It will also be available standalone on PC, PS4, Xbox in March. But yeah, they're planning that they want people to play for a long time. There'll be episodic releases. New episodes released every 6 weeks for Assassin's Creed Odyssey to follow up the launch of the game there too. So they're planning a long roadmap for this one, which is pretty promising. I mean, I still haven't gotten to Origins yet, which I need to. I know I need to. I have it. It's downloaded on my Xbox.
It's a lot of games.
That was my game of the year last year.
Right. I know. And I do need to play it. And everyone says it's great, so I'm all for it. But I need to get to it. So I know Odyssey's going to be great just simply based on what people have said about Origins. I don't have any doubts this is going to be a fantastic game that I will have to get to eventually. But
are you going to skip Odyssey and go to Origins? Or sorry, I don't skip Origins and go to Odyssey.
No, I'm going to play Origins first because I already have it. And Odyssey, like I said, that'll be a Black Friday pickup if Donnie and I even decide to. Because I mean, we have so much to play this holiday season.
Games already banked.
Yeah.
On Xbox.
So it's like
you got Red Dead coming your way too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Red Dead, Resident Evil, Darksiders, Captain Spear. We've done it all. Like it's all there. It's Spyro.
We got Fallout, Spyro. Like, Anthem is already purchased. Battlefield's already purchased. Yeah, we got. Yeah, and that's all just on Xbox, not counting.
So they're doing the Far Cry thing. I hope the remaster for Assassin's Creed 3 is better than the remaster for Far Cry 3. One thing I forgot to ask about that I did play last week, so that's why I forgot about it. Have you played the zombie stuff in Far Cry?
Yes.
Yeah. So I only played the first 2 chapters. Didn't really like it.
It's just fun, but it's not.
It's kind of fun, but it's just kind of boring.
It's like an arcade shooter almost,
you just
as
shoot
opposed
a bunch
to.
Of stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. So yeah, it's good to see Ubisoft just doing a lot of right now with these collections they're doing, just trying to get people to play these games for as long as possible. I mean, the amount of time I sunk into Far Cry 5, even with all the DLC, I'm all for it.
I'm interested to hear what Nathan thinks. I think Odyssey, for whatever reason, I'm just like really impressed with Odyssey more so than I think Origins.
You talking about what you're seeing?
Yeah, like what I'm seeing, like all the it's just very, it's like the movie Troy. Like, I just want to see that Mediterranean, sea combat thing, like landfall. I want to do all that. That looks awesome.
So it's really interesting because there's people that are really into it because of the whole Greek setting, the Greek locale. But me, I really was more into Origins because of the Egypt. Like, ancient Egypt has always fascinated me, and just pyramids and everything like that, and just the whole their culture just always fascinates me. With ancient Greece, just it's not as alluring to me. It's just I know a lot of the stories. I've read the Iliad and the Odyssey, and I'm into all that kind of stuff, and I've read a lot of the works. But I don't know. I'm not feeling this one like I was feeling Odyssey, or Origins. Origins just blew me away. Like, everything from that trailer where it had that song in the background, where it's like the guy doing the spoken song, and just had me hook, line, and sinker right away. And I mean, I'm sure Odyssey is going to be a great game as well. It's just I personally love Egypt and that setting, and I'm just not as into Odyssey. But I'm sure by the time I start playing it, I'll be like, oh yeah, this is so great. Seeing references to Zeus and all other stuff, and all those different Olympian gods.
Yeah, it's true. I get what you're saying there too, and the kind of the comparison I've seen like right off the bat was this is Ubisoft's take almost on God of War, because now we're introducing a little bit, and Origins is the mythological creatures, the Spartans, the whole nine. So it's almost like that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but for those of us that experienced God of War this year, in the back of my head, I'm going to be comparing it to that, even though they're not the same type of game whatsoever. In the back of my head, I'm going to be like, well, God of War did this better, or this did that better. It's like, they're not even the same games. I shouldn't be comparing them, but that's the only downside I see from it personally. But all right, last story I want to talk about here, and this one isn't as much news as about more philosophical thing that may or may not affect us. We're not obviously at this level, but this is still something to think about. Don't know if you guys saw the story or not. We did post in the Discord a little bit. One of the few streamers I watch on the regular is Dr. Disrespect. He had to abruptly stop his stream this week because somebody shot at his house and blew out a window in the middle of a stream. While his wife and very small daughter were both present in the house there too. He came back after a minute or two without his trademark wig and glasses on, which he's kind of really never seen like that publicly ever, and kind of went off on a tangent before ending the stream altogether. He did state that was the second day in a row that somebody had driven by his house while streaming and taking shots at the house. Last time they didn't connect. Police are investigating. Luckily, now today it's come out that it was most likely said to have come from a BB gun, so it's not anywhere near as serious, but it's still, it's still something you don't want to do. So now a lot of Twitch streamers are getting concerned between what happened with the unfortunate events in Jacksonville at the Madden tournament, where two pros died, injuring numerous, people in the crowd there. Dr. Disrespect being attacked at his house. We've heard different things about people being stalked, swatting people that are swatting, streamers while they're broadcasting, calling the police on them. A lot of streamers feel their safety is no longer guaranteed at any time, so a lot of them are pulling out of things such as TwitchCon or any type of events where they might go and meet their fans because they're scared. You don't know how people are going to react, and like I said, this is not something we are obviously not on the level of these people here, but clearly these things are being targeted. Safety, it's hard to maintain at all times in these types of events. So I just want to kind of hear you guys' thoughts about this. We talked about on a previous podcast a little bit about the events that happened in Jacksonville. So I want kind of your takes on it. What's going on with today's society as gaming is becoming a bigger part of mainstream and pop culture, and these events are part of that life, and we're seeing more and more people stream. This is a scary reality we deal with, and I mean, there's nothing stopping Chalfie from showing up at your house, Donnie, knocking on your door. Nobody wants that. Let's be honest.
I don't know. He might bring like tacos or churros or something.
That's true.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Dev, man, Chalf's where it's at when it comes to dinner time, man. So I'd be all about it. Man, I don't know really what to say, to be honest with you. I mean, like, obviously it's bad. People shouldn't do it. Obviously it's possible. Sometimes it might happen. I mean, I definitely think it's a wake up, You'll see some new security stuff. I heard from the Kind of Funny podcast when they went to the EA thing right after that they had bussed people in from a separate location and they wanted everybody and passed them out through metal detectors. So it looks like a lot of that will already start to change. I wouldn't go as far as saying it a fad right now, but like it is something that could trend. Like if like maybe people are getting the idea, they're starting to see that it gets notoriety. But really, I mean, it's not a gaming problem. It's just a society problem. It's a thing that happens right now, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You know, as far as that happening at his house, I mean, what are you going to do? What can you do? You know, like, you guys got to be careful when you're streaming. You know, be mindful of saying things like your address and, you know, the things that you show on camera and the things that you say to other people and, you know, what might instigate them. Like, be mindful, like, because it's, you know, it's a thing. It's possible.
Yeah, Nathan, to knock it off when you're on Xbox, touting all that stuff. Someone's going after you.
I know.
Mr. Badbit's going to show up at your house with all the bad bits.
He's gonna bring a PlayStation and be like, no, you gotta play this the rest of your life. I'm like, no.
Why does he talk with a southern accent?
I don't know.
He's from Jersey, isn't he?
He just comes with a villainous intent that just comes with it.
His voice is a much higher pitch than that too.
So I mean, I'll just say this is that, like Donnie said, it's not limited to gaming. It affects humanity as a whole. It's just a thing right now that we live in a world that is inherently, well, disrespectful to each other. Dr. Disrespect, kind of an unfortunate name there, but there's a loss of, you know, humanity across the board, whether it be interactions with people, whether it be just treating people like with kindness and understanding. There's just people who want to have it their way and don't feel like anybody should interfere with their way of life. And don't care what other people think. And really, when you have to look at a society that is working together, you really have to take everybody's opinions and thoughts into account and understand, like, you know, you want to treat people how you want to be treated, not just expect to get the way that you want to be treated all the time, right? So for me, my answer to this is just, you know, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be the guy that, you know, I'm helping people out where I can. I'm doing Extra Life. I'm showing that gamers are still good and that there are bright spots out there that aren't, you know, the issues that you have when I'm not online, you know, yelling like, oh, you F this, F that, you know, the names that you get all the time if you're actually playing a game online. That's why I play a lot of single player games. That's why I play Spider-Man, right? Because there's none of that. There's none of this talk and people yelling at each other and just being stupid. But where you can, be better. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's all we can do, no matter what it is.
Amen. I like that. That's a good note to end this on. So I think it's time to wrap up the show, gentlemen. It was a good one. We got a lot of stuff going on. But before we leave, it's time to talk a little bit about what we are up to, what we want to plug. So, you know, Nathan, you mentioned Extra Life. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
So Extra Life is rapidly approaching, y'all. It is going to be the 2nd of November is when I'm going to be doing my stream, my 24-hour marathon. And we have a Make Us Better community team that I'd like to have y'all join me on. With this team, you can still set up your own locale for your hospital, so your donations will go to your specific hospital. But you're just part of the Make Us Better community. You join the team. We all kind of can encourage each other on the game day, on leading up to it, and just kind of helping each other around the way. So you can join that team by going to extra-life.org/team/MUB, as in Make Us Better. And you can also find my page, extra-life.org/in, as in Nathan, T as in Thomas. So you can go find my personal page there, and as well as the team pages there. If you have any questions about Extra Life, you don't know really about what it is, you don't know the requirements, you're not sure, please hit me up on Twitter. I'm happy to talk Extra Life, so you can understand what it all is, what it's all about, and what it really means. I mean, you can be a donor, obviously very easy to donate and help the cause, but you can also be someone who gets the word out, spreads the word of the different teams and pages, and just hop in on the streams when you see people doing Extra Life streams and just give them encouragement. Because I can talk to you as a 24-hour marathon goes on. You really need people at all times of the day to come in there and just kind of keep you company and keep you going, because it's one of those things where it's just like, after a while, like you hit that 3 a.m. mark after you've been playing since 8 a.m. the day before. And it's just like, I just, no. I
know.
So there's a lot you can do to support Extra Life. If you have questions, if you want to get involved, please hit me up on Twitter. And you can do that, twitter.com/voicedbynathan. That's my tag, voiced by Nathan.
Voice ed by Nathan.
Yes, that too.
That too.
You can also hit me up on the Xbox Drive. Bow.
Aw. Donnie, what do you want to plug? What are you up to?
Nothing, man. You folks can find me on Twitter playing Nintendo, and we do Shack every Thursday night, and we do State of the Empire monthly, me and Nathan, and make sure you come join that. And this month is all about Forza month.
Forza!
I kind of came in
Forzathon.
there. Yeah, Forzathon. And maybe we'll have some guests drive on over.
Bow. Sounds like a great cross promotion right there, opportunity. But anyway, hit up the website psvg.blog to find all the things related to PSVG, including that Discord. Join us over in the Make Us Better Discord. It makes your workday go by so much better. We make your life better by making us better, more better, make us better. Patreon.com/make us better if you'd like to donate some money to the cause. Like we said, trying to hit that $400 goal so that we can split the feeds like Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet. We need all the gems all in one place. So we can get that out to you there, folks. I don't really have anything else to plug. You can follow me on Twitter at PSVGKevin. Follow the website, the podcast network at PSVG. I think that's it, gentlemen. So more important than anything else really in life, anything, except Spider-Man. Play Spider-Man. You need to play Spider-Man. We ask, as always, that you never stop gaming.